All right, let's dive in here. We're going to be looking at on, single whip, and fist under elbow. In this first clip, you can automatically see the width of the hands. So typically for martial purposes, what we say is that when you are neutralizing in this manner, you want to clear the shoulders, clear outside of the shoulder, clear the shoulder width. So right here is the neutralize, and then you come down. So there's two angles there. One is that horizontal plane right here, splitting the hands as the force or opponent comes in. And then the vertical plane, you will be able to see here, in which you neutralize down. So you neutralize to the side, that horizontal plane, and then down. And then you come back up, and that is your push. You can see here how the back engages, and then how the chest engages, in which they bow. Right here you see the back bowing. Right here, back bow, chest bow. And so essentially what happens is you hide your center evades as the energy comes in. So we've looked at this small coil before in a single whip. And we're breaking it down, and we're essentially doing the single whip one-handed, right hand specifically, in which the left hand is at the dantian, and we're feeling the connection of the right hand to the dantian. So we're starting from on, putting the left hand at the dantian, and we want to get a sense of the whip, the handle of the whip, which is at the waist, and then the tip of the whip, which is the fingers. So we're feeling the waist turn right or left, and then right. Squatting down, and then you get a sense also when you go into mountain climbing stance, get a sense of how the torso is affected by that movement going into the stance. So again, turning to the left and whipping to the right, turning to the left, whipping to the right, feeling the waist connected, feeling also the feet connected to the earth, and then finally all of that motion going into the fingers, into the hand, stepping out. See a little spine wave there. And as we continue, you can see here, okay, we're doing the pluck. I stop, reset, because what I'm going to do is I want to stay in this motion, and I just want to switch the hands. And I want to loop this particular part of single whip. Switch the hands, come back to the right. Switch the hands, come back to the left. And this is the pluck. One hand on the wrist, one hand on the elbow as you pull the opponent. Squatting down so that you're connected to the earth. Feeling that a little bit of weight shift. You can do a little bit of weight shift there if you want as well. I really like this drill. Now the hands, the wrists, we could debate a little bit as far as the relaxation and the tension that's held in the wrists. So I could also relax the wrists and the fingers just a bit more, but as you can see, I'm focusing on that pull, focusing on connecting to the earth, and then using the earth to pull wrist and elbow, pulling wrist and pulling elbow. And then that goes into the flip and the poke, crane's beak. So there's the pull and there's the flip. What I want you to look at is my spine. So for me, there's an interesting spinal wave right here as it closes and then opens. So maybe get a sense of that, see how that feels to you, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. So here the spine bone opens just a bit and it closes, and then opens there to do that crane's beak. So let's freeze here a second. I want to show you what it looks like when I don't go so far to the left and the application stays in front of you. So that compared to these other repetitions where I turn, see how I turn farther there to the left, and then the previous ones I was more in front of my torso, more in front of my body, and I allude to this in the description, and I talk about the application in which it stays in front of you and it's quite fast, and in really doing the application you don't necessarily turn all the way to the left there. So here I'm doing it just a little bit faster. Eventually we'll add some faster movement, essentially some whipping jing. Now we've done this one before. A couple of things that I'd like to point out is what we don't necessarily think about often, I think, is the right arm. What's the feeling, what's the sensation that's in the right arm in this exercise? Because the right arm essentially is frozen. So there's a tendency to forget about it. There's a tendency to maybe lift the shoulder. What I like to feel and get a sensation of is the circulation of energy and sensation within that right hand as the fingers are in a circle. So I use a Tai Chi fist more so than I do a crane's beak, is what I prefer. So remember here, what I'd like you to see is the chest and shoulder work here. So right here, I relax the shoulder, chest, close the chest, and then this is open the chest. If you can get a sense of that. Close the chest, and then you start to lose the feeling of the hand and the arm that's doing the movement, and it's more so the shoulder, the chest, and even the waist movement. There you can see my back bow right here, my back and spine bow, and see if you can drive that opening from the back. Close, bow the back, open there. And one thing that we should note is that the hand doesn't turn over until it clears the shoulder width. And now we're looking at fist under elbow. So I have a lot to say in the description as I break down these drills. So for martial purposes, after single whip, you're sidestepping, the right hand's clearing to your left shoulder, clear outside the left shoulder, left hand's grabbing there, and then the kick. So sidestep, clear, grab left hand, kick left leg, and then you can punch right hand. So we'll look at the footwork, okay? Hands at the dantian, getting a sense of the center moving, as well as the breath engaged. I go into the kick, and then I trace back the steps. 1 and 2. Bring it back. 1 and 2. So this is for balance work, leg strengthening, knee and ankle mobility as well. You can see my torso turns. I'd like you to look at that as well. Stepping back. Weight shift, lift the right heel, step out on the heel, weight shift, torso turns to the left and then the right to bring the kick back, weight shift to the left leg, false stance and back. Try to move into and out of those stances as smooth as you can. Now we're looking at the upper body, okay? So this right hand cover, seal, block, neutralize, however you want to utilize it, it doesn't have to come up so high. It can just come straight into block or straight into neutralize. And I talk about this in the description as well. So I like the feeling of having this as white crane. This can come down as like a heavy block as well. I mean, if we're thinking about martial purposes, this right block right there in which you can turn the palm towards you, you can close the fist if you want. But essentially what you want to do is clear your torso. See how it clears all the way to my left shoulder? There's that fist, the hidden fist there as I pull and fist, pull and punch, pull and punch. So right here, see how I clear my left shoulder and then I grab, punch. Clear the left shoulder. This could even be a palm or eye poke and then punch. So your block, 1, 2. Okay, remember neutralize is more Tai Chi-ish. And that's it. We're going to continue next week with completing fist under elbow. Thanks for watching. Really enjoying this. Take care. And in week 4 of February, we are continuing with fist under elbow. We're going to be looking at how that fist comes out. We're going to be looking at repulse the monkey. How exactly do you turn on this heel? We'll be taking some drills, some Qigong drills to help you with that. And then we're looking at the upper body, coiling out of the wrist grab and then breaking the grab. This is the Taijiquan calendar series 2019.